When you don't come, don't worry. When you don't come, don't do anything. आपको भूल गए मैडम राइट पे भूल गया मतलब कुछ क्या डर ना है Mijbil is done. क्या भूल गया क्या आपको नहीं कोई बात नहीं वो नहीं आता तो हम थोड़ी ना पढ़ते हैं because number does not come we can't do anything the question remains at what it was when you last checked. By the way, Vincent also, he had finished in that one day. You have to present her. If they have seen. I would raise for friend. Raise for her friend. उसके पहले Vincent किया था. तब था. आप नहीं था. नहीं था. अरे तब एग्जाम चल रहे थे ना. एग्जाम चल रहे थे तो तब नहीं था. Video मेरे पास एक्सेस है ना आपने फोटो खींचा था ना जब सुबह फोटो काटने का वीडियो मैं तो बोल दूंगा मैं आप बंद करके थोड़ा देखो बता हां मैम तो कौन एक्सेप्ट करेगा तू मैंने सिखा रही है तू बस आंख बंद करके बाइनरी and forget minority and majority when the teacher is saying there's no minority or majority that is only majority. The teacher won't need anybody else. माँ बाप अपने बच्चे को अच्छे से जानते हैं. Correct ना? What you are here, you are the same at home also. So we'll be on the same page. Me and problem this. So फंसेगा नहीं बोलता अच्छा नहीं है. आज आपके पेरेंट्स के लिए आएंगे. नहीं इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है तो आज और लेके आप पेरेंट्स को. नहीं क्यों किसी है बोला नहीं किसी है जाने का जाना है तो एक दाल पड़े एक्स्ट्रा तो कहाँ जाने जाने एडवांस तो इन्फॉर्म करना नहीं बताएगा मैं स्पेसिफिकली बोलूँगी तेरे पेरेंट्स को कॉल करो. Okay, today what we'll do, we'll do some more unseen passages in the next class. And chapter which one we have to do? Mijbil or madam? Here we have done till Amanda Princess case. So next is Mijbil. Mijbil and Fog we can see. Right? Yeah. This method. आपने सुना है इसमें चलते जो लड़कों में सुधरा हो क्या rubbish any rubbish and then he laughed at his own joke बड़ा जोक मारा नींद आ रहा है ना वीडियो पे कॉल करके वीडियो भी होगी घर पे कॉल करके बोल दूंगी बच्चा का 16 ट्रिप से याद से please bring some science red light pink okay yes speaking of pink it will be order wait what is it it is it will be order Gavin Maxwell lives in a cottage in Camus, in the West Highlands in Scotland. When his dog Johnny died, Maxwell was so sad to think of keeping a dog again. Right? It happens when you have a pet. You get attached to it and you get so attached and then the pet is not there, you don't keep it. But life without a pet was lonely. See what happened then in Maxwell's house. Let's start. Let's go through this part, the third thing there. Otters are found in large numbers in the marshes. That is, wet areas near lakes, rivers, or seas. Near Pasta. Okay, what are marsh? What is marshy land? You all must be knowing. Huh? Charge. There's a lot of water, so it remains very muddy. The surface of the rainfall. So near Basra, a town in Iraq. And then Iraq, it's given, see that those two boxes there. Iraq has mostly broad plains and marshes along the Iranian border in the south, with large flooded areas. A large part of Iraq's land area is desert, so it has cool winters and dry, hot and cloudless summers. The mountain areas near Iraq and Turkey have cold winters, there is heavy snowfall there, and when the snow melts in spring, it causes floods in the central and southern. Okay, so when it is when all the snow melts, that takes the water and makes the entire area marshy. London has a very large population and it's a very busy city. In addition to multi-story buildings on the top, it has many open spaces or parks. It has a temperate climate that is neither very hot nor very cold. With regular but generally light rainfall or snow throughout the year. The warmest month is July, coolest month is January. February is the driest month. Snow is not very common in London. We start. Early in the new year of 1956. The year of 1956 means which month? January 1956. I traveled to southern Iraq. By then, it had crossed my mind that I should like to eat an otter instead of a dog, and that Camus-Pierna is in Scotland. Bring by water a stone's throw from its school. What is the meaning of stone's throw? A very short, something that is near, say if you stay close to the school. So you say, I stay a stone's throw from my school. If you say nearby. Bring by water a stone's throw from its goal would be an eminently suitable spot for this experiment. Eminently is a very clearly suitable spot because he wanted to keep an water and waters are found in those marshes. So it would be a good place where he could get an water. When I casually mentioned this to a friend, he as casually replied that I had better get one in the Tigris marshes. Tigris marshes is in Iraq. Or they were as common as mosquitoes. So what does this phrase mean? Like mosquitoes, means they are found in plenty. In marshy land, even mosquitoes are found in plenty. So in the same way, he said that they are found in plenty, in abundance. And they were often tamed by parents. Tamed means they were made pets. They were trained and different things. We were going to Basra to the Consulate General to collect and answer our mail from Europe. At the Consulate General, so Consulate General is the office, okay, the embassy here. So at the Consulate General, we found that my friend's mail had arrived, but that mine had come. So what had happened? He and his friend were there. His friend's mail arrived, but his okay. आज नहीं करते ना ये मतलब वेट को ठीक है all this it's still fun. I cannot afford to spend all one four days. So what are we doing? So what are we doing? And I think we can all do it. And we can I know what the situation would be for you. Some of the people in the I don't know. If I'm not basically to have simplification that bad skill. How we can want to make it more responsible more. People are not very bad they want to be like this. And they may go and have for them and watch. It's everything. Yeah, it's fine. The 8 people are 50, I won't tell you anything, and it's really it's not what was I saying? But his had not, his mail did not come. I came into England, and when by cable C sent a message by telegram. So I came into England for what? Because he had not received the mail. And when 3 days later nothing happened, I tried to telephone. The call had to be booked 24 hours in advance. पहले के टाइम में वैसे ही होता था years back. Calls had to be booked in advance. On the first day, the line was out of order. On the second, the exchange was closed for a religious holiday. On the third, there was another breakdown. My friend left, and I arranged to meet him in a pizza. 5 days later, my mail arrived. Okay. So what happened on the first? What did he do? He message to the telegram. Message to the telegram. Then what did he do? Right. How many days did he wait? 3 days. Then what happened first day? Line was yes 24 hours in advance, and the line was out of order. Second day, what happened? It was closed, and third day another breakdown. So then he told his friend that I will meet you after a week, and 5 days later, Mijbil arrived. I carried it to my bedroom to read what that mail that he had got. And then, squatting on the floor, squatting right down, sitting cross-legged. You sit on the floor with legs crossed. Squatting on the floor, but no arrows. And pay attention. After that, I'm going to give you a question for this. Your books will have to be closed. Okay? And they will all be small, small things like this. So I know how mindfully you all are paying attention. Okay? So, squatting on the floor were 2 Arabs. Beside them lay a sack that squirmed from time to time. Squirm, see, twisted about. And what is a sack? A gunny bag, body. So it was squirming. They handed me a note from my friend. What did it say? Here is your water. And there were other things also written because you can see those 3 dots. But the main thing was that he is given the water. Second part. With the opening of the sack began a phase of my life that has not yet ended and may, for all I know, not end before I do. It is in effect a thyroglum. Thyroglum is under the control of old fashioned. So a thyroglum to otters and otter fixation that I have since found to be shared by most other people who have ever owned one. So in this paragraph, he is saying that I got so attached to my pet, so addicted. Fixation means you remain fixed, you are attached, right? And that pet. And he's saying this I have found even with the other people who have owned otters as pets. The creature that emerged from this sack onto the spacious tile floor of the consulate bedroom resembled most of all a small, medievally conceived dragon. Medievally conceived, see, imagination of the Middle Ages. So it seemed like it appeared like that when it was a dragon of those times. But it was very tiny, it was small. From the head to the tip of the tail, he was coated with symmetrical pointed scales of mud armor. Armor क्या रहता है? Body का covering. So here he was covered with mud totally. Why? Because they live in the marshes. So they are going to be fully yes, fully covered with mud. Means like literally drenched, soaked in mud. So armor between whose lips was visible a soft velvet-like fur, like that of a chocolate brown mole. Mole is a rat, a small rat. Okay. So what are they saying? In between, you could see soft velvet-like fur, which was what color? Chocolate brown in color, but that was totally covered with the layer of thick mud. He shook himself, and I half expected a cloud of dust. But in fact, it was not for another month that I managed to remove the last of the mud and see the water as it were in his colors. So here what is he saying? That when he shook himself, like some dogs when you give them a bath, they shake themselves, so all the water splashes out. So he's saying that water, he shook himself when he came out. So when he shook himself, what did he expect? That dust would fly out. But that did not happen. Because it was so thick, तो वो ज़्यादा रहता है तो वो चिपका रहता है ना, so it had hardened over. And he's saying that it took 1 whole month for that entire mud to go away. Okay. he's saying it was for not for another month that I managed to remove the last of the mud and see the otter as it were in his true colors, means in its real fur. Mijbil, as I call the otter, was in fact of a race previously known to science and was at length Christian by scholars. Christian is named. The name that was given, its scientific name, is what? Neutrogale persistillata Maxwell's. What is it? Maxwell's order. Or Maxwell's order. But what is the scientific name? Neutrogale persistillata Maxwell's. See the spelling properly.
ये ऐसे आएगा एग्जाम में कि ये
आएगा
नाम
What is the scientific name? जो भी तुम्हारे इसमें है हर एक वर्ड आएगा ये नहीं बोल सकते हो ये नहीं आएगा बोल हमारे चैप्टर में है ना So what was the name? Neutrogale persistillata Maxwell's or Maxwell's order. For the first 24 hours, Mijbil was neither hostile nor friendly. Hostile is written unfriendly. So he was neither unfriendly nor was he friendly. He was simply aloof and indifferent. Aloof but now because he was new, no, he was not interacting much with people. Because he is new. When we go to a new place, how are we? हम लोग चुप रहेंगे देखेंगे क्या उसका बड़ा क्या no it was small you see this picture here छोटा ही तो पीछे देखो 3 के picture here in that picture it still looks big but this is how small it was so it must have been a baby also हाँ ये इनिशियली था ना बाद में वो फ्रेंडली हो गया because see normally when you keep a pet ये क्या चल रहा है तेरा when you keep a pet usually you take a pet when it's small only na baby so you can train it it gets adjusted Personally, this friend must have given a baby, and he can be very good with their first car. Again, same thing happened. I had a pet dog Pomeranian, miniature. That's why the same thing. I lost her when she was 12, 13 years old. I was small at that time. I myself must have been around 18 years or so. So after that, it used to happen that even there after we lost her, there we used to keep her bowl, her food bowl or whatever. My foot never used to go there. So every time I used to be there, I used to think that sit there. My leg never went past that. Happens later. What do you? I don't know. Find pictures that like find on their hands and it died when before 10 days. Oh, 5 days hours. And what happens? You get very attached to them. So that's why then you don't want to keep another because you know you're going to again get attached. So what happens? Y'all, none of you will have the first one. Very much to my Okay. The dog and the planet. That's right. It's right here. An example. Green color, not green. What does it call? सब लोग बोलते हैं मैं हंसता रहता है वो भी सीख गया वो मुझे सिखाना ही नहीं था उसको अगर मैं ना हंसता वो हाँ वो जो हम लोग बोलते हैं वो Parrot or dog. Curtains there in the water. नहीं मतलब क्या है ना मेरे पापा ने बनाने दिया उसको जैसे ना एक तो क्या कहता है ना वो मछली जैसे तब तक नहीं नहीं अलग है थोड़ा
अरे वैसे खट्टे
तो अलग बना है
वन जैसे ना
हाँ तो वहाँ दो है एक में जब उसमें एक में पूरा हमने रेत डाला है तो रात रात में हम जैसे कभी जैसे रोटी करके ना तो रेत पे डाल देंगे कभी पानी में पूरा टाइम पानी में नहीं डाल सकते पूरा हाँ अभी तो वो भी अभी भी थोड़ा है वहाँ पर तो ये तो बड़े हो गए बहुत बड़ी अंडरस्टैंड बोलो कैसे नहीं लेकिन मैं पानी मेरा ना मटका है वो किचन में रहते हैं एकदम कोने में मेरा मटका है तो पानी में आपको आते हैं हाँ तो देखते आते हैं वैसे अगर उसको कुछ बोलो वहाँ पे जाके बॉक्स के खिलाफ ऐसा यार ये खाना खाने के लिए बहुत सुनते हैं सारे सब समझते हैं यार कर्टन्स नो यूजिंग सो dogs are understand उसका अपना चल गया जना they understand
I want they want like the dog कुछ डॉग है ना उसको पोली एंड डॉग करना चाहिए
नो अपना बोलो इसे शेयर करो जो करना है सारे बात
मेरे डॉग को
इसको बोलने दे
मेरे सुबह का जो डॉग उसको अगर बोला कि पोली बनाने के लिए आता है पोली बनाने के लिए अपने कपड़े पहना कौन सा
अच्छा सो ध्यान क्यों करेगा
मेरे हाँ मुंबई में भी ऑस्टर दो मैरिज है
ये बॉयज ऐसे क्यों करते हैं क्या एंड द गर्ल्स आर कितने का गया क्या इग्नोर एंड लिसन ना अब बेस को उसके ऊपर मत डालो लोग भी कान खुला करके सुन रहे हो ना वो बॉय के साथ बात नहीं कर रहे ना तो रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हो तब क्यों बोल रहे हैं सुनो ना वो लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं
हाँ तो ये कहते हैं होमटाउन में एक डॉग है और दो पैरेट्स हैं लेकिन जैसे हम लोग के घर का माहौल है वैसे कोई आता भी है या नहीं भी आता है तो जो बाहर ऊपर डॉग लगा रहता है उसको फेस में काइंड ऑफ रखा भौंकता रहता है इसी पे से एक बार तो उसने मेरे पापा का हाथ भी काट दिया था इंजेक्शन कराना हमेशा काटता रहता है कौन मेरी दीदी के पास
जिससे क्या बोला लैब से क्या बोला कुछ नहीं कहाँ पे बात कर
तो सबको ऐसा तो बहुत फ्रेंडली है वो ज्यादा लगता है काटता भी रहता है हाँ मुझे बहुत बार काटता है और वो
लोग बोलो भैया
पैरेंट पकड़ता है फिर वो हम सब घर के अंदर वो पैरेंट को रख दीजिए और अगर फिंगर थोड़ा सा भी केयर में डालता है तो काट
तेरा वीडियो दिखाता हूँ देखो सुबह ना मेरे को ना मेरे संडे का दिन है मेरे को एक दिन मिलता सोने का
लेके जाना पड़ता है
अरे नहीं उसको सोने मेरे को सोने मम्मी जान पूछे ना क्या करती है वो खोल देती पर्दा कुछ जैसे उसको रोशनी नजर आए इतना चीखता बोलता ही रहेगा चौथा नोइजी नो वो आई हैड अ पैरेट मेरे पास दो थे एक नंबर पर है आपको एक बार गूगल पे सर्च कर बहुत सुंदर उसके पास एक प्रेस पे घर पर गए थे ऐसे कुछ ऐसे थोड़ा हवा आ गई ऐसे उड़ के चले उसको पता भी नहीं चला शाम तो मेरे पेरेंट्स को मेरे पेरेंट्स को उसके ऊपर बांध दिए मतलब थोड़ा ही डिस्टेंस बांध दिए तो वो बांधना नहीं कर सकती नहीं पेरेंट्स की लाइफ जस्टिंग कर लोग हाइट पे नहीं होते कट किया था तो फिर वो ज्यादा ऊंच से बार-बार उठ रहे तो थोड़े से ना ऐसे ना थोड़े से टाइम कर देते some part of it you are trying to
वो थोड़ा ना इस पे भी चला जाता है हमने उन्हें देखा हम लोग क्या है ये काम भी बिठाते हैं अपने के साथ
मेरा एक डॉग है चलो इसे क्लास का तक मेरी पड़ी है तो हमारा मेरा एक डॉग है उसको ना बालकनी समझ नहीं देती वो हॉल में सुपर भी लेटर रहता है ओल्ड एज है वो मैं उसको बोलता हूँ अगर कबूतर आया बालकनी में वो बालकनी बंद रहती है तो है ना भाग के जाता है उधर और कोने साइड पे रहते हैं ना जहां से आने तक जो छत रहते हैं तो उधर भाग के जाते हैं और भौंकने लग जाते हैं पूरे टाइम पे उनमें जाते हैं रूम से बालकनी का ऑफ साइड जाते हैं चढ़ के ऐसे भौंकने लगते हैं फिर मम्मी आती मम्मी चिल्लाती रहती है कि कर रहा है ऐसे काम तो उसको तो बिजी रख रहा है ना थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज होएगा उससे बॉल खेलते हैं ना वो उठते नहीं चलो लेट्स प्रोसीड so so it was simply aloof and indifferent okay choosing to sleep on the floor as far from my bed as possible. The second night, Mijbil came onto my bed. This Arma is not come today. I thought he must have come. It's not. He's not there. नहीं तो वो होता तो भी now also he would have responded. आवाज आ. Okay. The second night. So in the beginning, how was it? He was very aloof, indifferent, neither hostile, non-friendly. Second night, Mijbil came onto my bed in the small hours. Small hours means in the early in the morning, small hours of the morning, and remained asleep in the crook of my knees. Crook is the back. Sleep at your legs, no? So let's say it was there at the crook of his knees, and during the day, he began to lose his apathy. Apathy means absence of interest. Lose apathy means he started taking more interest. And take a much too keen interest in his surroundings. When was this? Second night. And then in the day also, he started taking more interest. I made a body belt for him. Body belt is like a leash. I made a body belt for him and took him on a lead to the bathroom. Because remember, it's a water animal, it's a marine animal. So, took him on a lead to the bathroom, where for half an hour he went wild with joy in the water, plunging and rolling in it, shooting up and down the length of the bathtub underwater and making enough slosh and splash for a hit. This, I was to learn, is a characteristic of otters. Every drop of water must be, so to speak, extended and spread about the place. A bowl must at once be overturned, or if it will not be overturned, be sat in and sloshed in until it overflows. Water must be kept on the move and made to do things when static, it is wasted and provoking. Provoking means they don't like it, causing anger. It makes them angry. Why? Because they are water animals, they like water. So whenever they see water, what do they have to do? They have to go splash and splash into it, or if it's in a hole, they either get into it or they make it fall. Because they like playing in water. Fish. Fish. 2 days later, Mijbil escaped from my bedroom as I entered it, and I turned to see his tail disappearing round the bend of the corner that led to the bathroom. Because now in the next 2 days it came to know that kahan pe hai. 2 days afterwards, he saw him going by himself. What is he saying? I turned to see his tail disappearing round to the bend of the corridor that led to the bathroom. You have the passage, and on the left you have the bathroom. Say for example, bend means maybe left or right, wherever. So he saw its देखो सभी उसको समझा कि ये वहां पे गया है in the bath on its own. By the time I got there, he was up on the end of the bathtub and fumbling. Fumbling, see, trying to do something in a clumsy manner. Why fumbling? He didn't know how to open the tap. By the time he had, ये उसको समझ गया था कि इधर कुछ तो करते हैं तो पानी आता है. Now he wanted the water. So he was fumbling. Fumbling, other word for it could be fidgeting. Huh? Trying to open. Fumble. Huh? Fumbling at the chromium taps. Chromium is what the metal, yellow taps, which is pause. I watched amazed. In less than a minute, he had turned the tap far enough to produce a trickle of water. Trickle means few drops of water, and after a moment or two, achieved the full flow. So that time he was successful in opening the tap. But it was by chance. Okay, see in brackets it's given. He had been lucky to turn the tap the right way. On later occasions, he would sometimes screw it up still tighter. गलती से खोलने के बदले वो क्या करता था? Make it more tight. Chittering with irritation. Chittering is those sounds that they make. Like even monkeys make us sounds when they're angry. Chittering is the sound it used to make with irritation and disappointment at the tap's failure to cooperate. That I'm trying, but the tap is becoming tighter and there's no water. Very soon, Mitch would follow me without a lead and come to me when I called his name. So he started getting trained. He spent most of his time in play. He spent hours shuffling a rubber ball round the room like a four-footed soccer player, using all 4 feet to dribble the ball. And he would also throw it with a powerful flick of the neck. See, a quick light, because we using its nose, not to flick it. So it used to even throw that ball with his neck, using his neck, to a surprising height and distance. But the real play of an otter is when he lies on his back and juggles with small objects between his paws. Juggling you all know, na? One cloud. Marbles were Mitch's favorite toys for this pastime. He would lie on his back, holding 2 or more of them. For us, I think even 2 we'll find difficult. We used to juggle with 2 or more what? Small marbles. Rolling 2 and more of them up and down his wide flat belly without ever dropping one on to the floor. Okay. So what all it used to do? That's where used to dribble the marbles. First is he started identifying himself by his name. He used to come and he used to be called. Then what he used to play? Yes, he used to dribble the ball. Yes. He used to lie on his back and juggle with his 4 paws. And he used to say 2 or more marbles. He used to not miss any. Was good at. Okay, sir, let me give you for this. Ask the questions. Small question I'm giving, don't worry. Let's put the करेंगे. वो यही कंटिन्यू करेंगे. Or if you all want to how many of you, majority of you want to be on board? And see how many on next class. Next class meet next one month. Fancy people. चलेगा? The rest of them.
No. Actually.
चलिए जिसको अच्छी करना नीचे आंसर वन
No. नहीं कर
next class I wanted to do it.
एग्जाम भी आ रहा है
एग्जाम में आंसर आता है
मैं 20 को अभी बता रहा
आंसर को ज्यादा मार्क्स क्या
मैं 20 को बताया नहीं अब 15 कभी का एग्जाम 20 को बताया 23 अभी तो 20 को बताया
anyway you all want to do continue with this one yeah once
anyway in this section
yeah
she's the best student
who's the best student one year please put that do one thing write only answer okay that's it go on Ego goes there. देखो ये कुराची यूजलेस थिंग वो सब समझना है जब इसका नाम लेना नाम नहीं then it's a vowel say B then it's a consonant स्कूल है एक्चुअली कुछ तो बोला तेरे को तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं था close your textbooks early in the new year write that one word only okay write that one word answer so my question is early in the new year books are closed now early in the new year of 1956 Maxwell traveled to which place What's the author of Mijbil?
Mijbil. Who is the author of Mijbil? Hoga. Mijbil.
Next.
मतलब किस word ना Mijbil के
author.
Mijbil. हाँ ऊँचा है तो भी आता है हाँ दूसरा नाम तो चलेगा अरे अब मैं बोला आपको पढ़ ले अब बड़ा
Who's the author? छोटा क्या नाम लिख छोटा next one third where does the author live where does the author live four what experiment did Maxwell think chemistry would be suitable for what experiment did he think that chemistry would be suitable for so the first part only that we have just done what experiment did the author thinks that chemistry would be suitable for. Next fifth one. How many days later did the author's mail arrive? उसके बाद पर इतना जब उससे फ्रेंड से मिलने वाला क्वेश्चन यही है how many days later did the author's mail arrive? आगे कुछ नहीं पूछने का Next. Who brought the author? Who brought the author? The author. Seven. What is the meaning of apathy? What is the meaning of apathy? Yeah, Rakesh. उधर क्या इधर लिखा है What is the meaning of apathy? Next question. What is wasted and provoking when left static? What is wasted and provoking when left static? Nine. Non excellent. One word answer. को खाली नंबर ही लिख रहे हैं वो तीन खाली वो भी कट करके कुछ किया नाइन इन द बिगिनिंग ज्यादा ये क्या नहीं लिखता रहता है लिखता है in the beginning the otter was how behavior of the otter in the beginning the otter was like that word. First time to my first question was what Saranina, second Gavin Maxwell. Then the author live house. London, Otter की author और in London. हमने वो head of house लिया. Four. What experiment? Yes. Yes, to buy or to keep an author as a pet. Fifth, Friday, author, the author was brought for the author by two Arabs. Who brought? Author's friend sent it to him, but brought it with him. Arabs. What is the meaning of apathy? Lack of interest. इसमें क्या था स्टेटमेंट की लॉस्ट apathy. कीवर्ड इसमें था वर्ड मीनिंग में भी था what is wasted water. What is wasted and provoking when left static? Water. In the beginning the author was alone and indifferent. Either of these words or both words. What do you wrote? Not friendly, not friendly. Non-friendly. क्या लिखा है? It was not friendly and not so much attached. It was neither friendly nor unfriendly. Tell me your marks now out of 9.
तो मेरा ऊंची थी 16 6 7 7 4 you also 4 चार तो लिखे भी नहीं आते
नहीं, पांच
ऐसे दो कर सकते हैं।
पांच लिखे थे, 4 राइट थे।
5 लिखे 4 पे और नेक्स्ट ऑल्सो आई डू कैलकुलेशन 4 who was the highest 8 मेरा Even now it's 5:10. 5:10 to 5, I can take your break, then we can start 5:11. ठीक है तो 5:16. 5:16 sharp, 3 are ready for your books. कितना टाइम थे तो क्लास शुरू होना कब से? क्या बोला? एक के बाद also in August. It's September 21st. What's your portion? Okay, no. Next week we'll do that. Now we यही चाहिए तुम लोग को. Next week we'll do IC. Shivam is what? Shivam Valia. Huh? Myra Kulkarni, Myra we one. There are Myra. Yes. And Shivam lead the party. And Myra lead. Myra lead. Myra. What is the one is that Shivam is वो पाता नहीं है अरे आप नाइस
कैट मिल रहा था.
अरे जिनका स्वीट है ये ब्राउन कलर so cute. क्या एज है इसका? Copper spangle and age is
Now you only street on 3 years.
तो लगा 3 और 4. Yours? Your Murda?
मेरा पता नहीं है. वाइट कलर का है.
वो गार्ड डॉग टाइप का होगा ना?
शायद से वो लाया ना, तो जब भी मतलब मैंने सुना है ऐसे करके उसको लाया फिर अच्छा था। लेकिन मेरे सारे कजिन्स ने, मेरे पापा ने, मेरे सारे कजिन्स के पापा ने, सबने उसको सताया, उसको इतना irritated हो गया।
तालीम को केस में रखते हैं ना।
केस में अभी एक बार वो गलती से किया था केस पर, हम लोग के जो होमटाउन में जहाँ रहते थे तो 2 फ्लोर थे, एक नीचे मेरे फ्लैट ऊपर बड़ी फ्लैट है, तो किसी को ऊपर था, मैं नहाती हूँ तो कपड़े पहन लेता मुझे लड़ा मेरा भाई करके हमारा कपड़े पहनते
वो फिर जाते ही एग्रेसिव हो जाते हैं ना, बिकॉज़ दे आर टाइप, दे आर क्लोज ना, वो लोग भी तो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होते हैं।
लेकिन वो ऐसा तो है ही, पापा के साथ एक बार खेला था उंगली काट लिया, इंजेक्शन लिया ये ना बड़ा पता नहीं 40
हाँ मैंने तो की थी
वो तो 4-5 से पहले था
ये का वर्ड
मैं ना उसको इंजेक्शन सब दे रहा
अरे इसको भी याद करके
एक और साल क्या होता है
only on the safer side we should take, never know, इन्हें भी क्या जाएगा, it won't cause any harm whatsoever. ये कहाँ का है?
यही ट्यूशन के पास
अरे हाँ, this cat ना, she is so cute, और उसको पिलाओ तो आज कभी I went it down when I came ना, please feed it, you can finish this box to your family. मैंने वही सोचा, I told that advertising के ऊपर, I asked him आप hire बैठते हो क्या? He said हाँ, then I said next time I'll get for you some sachets of food ready, because cats small mini sachets one time का, I said I'll bring that so you can give it to each children. She's so because he saying the children give biscuits and things, and मेरे पास तो पीटर खाने का कुछ नहीं, but biscuits से उसका क्या nutrition है? So cute it is. Normally they're not so friendly. हाँ, तो बहुत आता है ऐसे.
एक बार मैं महाबलेश्वर गई थी, उसमें रिजॉर्ट में हम लोग रुके हुए थे। हाँ, इसका नाम पता है क्या मंगलवार मंगलवार मिले
है क्या, but male and female and
फीमेल है मेल थोड़े ज्यादा
हाँ,
मेल थोड़ा
and normally cats don't come very
तो भाग जाते हैं
and now they like to be alone.
और मैं मुझसे पास आ
वही मैंने थोड़ा सा, it was looking at me when I came. थोड़ा हल्का सा looking at me. When I went that side, I was talking to somebody who was पीछे है. फिर मैं इधर आई, it was still there at the other end of the footpath. फिर अंदर से means जहाँ पे वो shade है, इधर बाहर की तरफ. Again I did push, it came running on me.
It's the way first time it is I come is there. You तो super पैर पे पूरा लटक.
हाँ,
मेरे पास ही चिपकी हुई थी हाँ पैर ऐसे मतलब
यहाँ पे ऐसी उसको बहुत सारे तेरा चिकन बैठे ना तो सब
सारे जीव के बच्चे आते हैं
जीव के बच्चे आए सब बैठते हैं.
एक बार महाबलेश्वर गई थी रिजॉर्ट में लोग गए थे वो टीवी सामने का अंकल को मार गया पता चला अंकल के पास एक ऑरेंज कलर की टीवी थी तो 15 मिनट लिए अंकल को टीवी सही कर 15 मिनट बैठ मतलब मैं ऐसे ही बैठ के अपना काम कर रही थी ऐसे ही बैठ
somewhat friendly I think. मेरे सोसाइटी में there are 2 cats, okay, one family takes care of it, but then it's roaming around in the society. So cats never come, also full person cat can't.
तो भगाया
One is on speed, yeah. I'm Judy Gomez. क्या कर रहा था वो?
वो ऐसे शर्ट ही पहन के
मतलब सीरीज का एक बंदा है उसको निकेश कर बोल दिया
और हम शर्ट भी नहीं पहन रहा था ऐसे आ गए
क्यों उसको भी कुछ भी वक्त देते हैं हम भी
Now he's done.
देखो ना
तू जाना मैं देख रही हूँ.
आप देख लो मैं बहुत ज्यादा मार दूंगा
Isn't ना अच्छा हो गया good others I don't know ठीक है without copying बस copy किया देखो copy तेरी तरह ही क्या दे stand over you can manage to start there and then after तेरा is to this is this this is choice subject SSC
SSC हाँ हमारे में SSC है
40 है ना SSC
नहीं हम SSC SSC सही बात है ना यार सच्ची में SSC
board like there was the ICSE, CBSE, SSC.
लोग स्कूल में SST बोलने में गुस्सा हो जाता है
हाँ SSC she must be saying full social studies बोलो SSC SSC बोलते SSC बोलते अरे वाह हमारी कोई टीचर बोलती SSC लिखा करो एग्जाम में राधिका मैम बोले खुद
नहीं ना खुद लिख के दिखाती है
हो जाएगा
SSC social science SSC is a board state board हम वो करना पड़ रहा है वही तो बोल अरे चलो now see answer be ready unminute भी देखते ये लोग 1 minute यदि मैम का नाम मत ले तुम्हें ठीक से नहीं लिखा है ना
20 के लिए ज्यादा बोल रहा
सब मेरा ज्यादा जो बोल के मैं बोल ये चलो सेकंड पार्ट Steve, what are you? Your surname is Alia. What are you?
गया
मैं जनरल और ओबीसी थोड़ी पूछ रही हूँ what caste है
कास्ट जेंडर
जैसे कहाँ से हो पंजाब से हो पंजाबी हो यार पंजाबी और यार सिख
पंजाबी
सिख का पहले कुछ बात करते हैं फिर पहले ये पापा जैसे पापा के बात है ना
नहीं पापा के नहीं दादा
पहले से
पापा ने नहीं रखा कि इधर आ गए थे ना तो फिर वो मेरे पापा मानते कि मेरे पापा का पंडित है ये पहनते हैं पंडित है तो अच्छा नहीं लगता नॉन वेज वगैरह खाना हमारे से मेरे पापा का पंडित है बाकी लोग तो खाते हैं ना अपना
but actually you are not Sikhs मतलब your choice has chosen not to follow that the country
ये मैं खाता हूँ नॉन वेज
our choice he has chosen not to follow but then you are not originally Sikhs
नहीं हम डॉक्टर सिख नहीं है
but who was the grandfather
नहीं लेकिन नहीं मैम सिख पता है जैसे होते हैं कि वो लोग हम खाते नहीं हैं ये सब
ऐसे खा सकते लड़का खा सकते
वो नहीं पता पर मेरे को नहीं पता मैं नंबर को
बड़ा ठीक है ग्रंथ नहीं पढ़ा
बड़ा बड़ा है लेकिन पता नहीं मैं नहीं खाता मेरे पापा के नहीं
लिखा के
हाँ सीख नहीं होगा पंजाब में गुरु जी से ज्यादा परेशान है गुरुद्वारा वगैरह जाते अगर पंजाब में रहते फिर तो फिर मोस्टली आप लोग ले जा रहे हैं इधर आप पापा ने सब कुछ मेरा पता नहीं
parents from say no the look the I am Sindhi but there are some Sindhi who follow this Vedanta and we follow which is the same followed by the Sikhs also but we are not Sikhs we go to the Gurudwara and prayers are I know all the person I follow I'm married to Maharashtra. Oh, that's why I'm Maharashtra.
करना क्या?
But my Marathi, really speaking, my Marathi is better than my Sindhi. See, हम लोग बोलते हैं हिंदी और इंग्लिश एक्टर I actually associated the Sikh, not Sikh, but we follow the father and my Guru ji is a Sikh. My सबने मैंने first 5 हो दिया. That's all. I don't look. Yeah. ये तो इसका तो theory है. तेरा मेरे को doubtful था. I saw the names so I was wondering. Okay, इन आपसे यहाँ का गलती नहीं है. पता नहीं ऐसे भी ये कोई
मैं वो क्या है ना बोलते मैं काजल ही लगाता लेकिन फिर आप कैसे ही हो तो पंजाब में रहते हैं ना ऐसे
रात को नहीं है करता होगा इसके लिए रात दिन नहीं करा के सोता है बिकॉज़ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग प्रॉपर स्लीप.
हाँ मैं प्रॉपर स्लीप नहीं हो रहा अभी फोन नहीं देखता ना करता हूँ अभी तो करता हूँ तो हम बोर्ड से बात की है
नहीं दस्ते अकाउंट क्या तो फिर व्हाट टाइम यू स्टडी
अभी जब मैं जाऊंगा आज में से पिछले बैठी हूँ ये मॉडल आंसर वगैरह प्रैक्टिस वगैरह जो समझ में आता वो एनसीईआरटी संपर्क पर 11 बजे तक उसके बाद 10 बजे थोड़ा खाने वगैरह के बाद रिसर्च करूंगा 12 बजे से करूंगा
नेक्स्ट वीक बताना मेरे को इंग्लिश का क्या प्रैक्टिस किया है
इंग्लिश में तो होगा
एक पढ़ेगा
अभी
Okay, chalo, let's do part 2. Pay attention, now. Part 3. Part 3. 2 we finished. Part 3. Now we will go to
it's not either that
enough. चलो Part 3. The days passed peacefully at Basra, but I dreaded the prospect. Dreaded the prospect. Great fear of yes. What will be great fear? Dread means to be afraid. So I dreaded the prospect of transporting Mitch to England and to California. So what was he afraid of? How am I going to transport this animal to back to England? Now you keep it aside. I have started already, Shivam. The British Airlines. The days passed peacefully at Basra, but I dreaded the prospect of transporting Mitch to England and to California. The British airline to London would not fly animals. So I booked a flight to Paris on another airline and from there to London. So he took a via flight to London. The airline insisted that now the airline had their own rules. So the airline insisted that Mitch should be packed into a box not more than 18 inches square to be carried on the floor at my feet. So there were two things. You have to put it in a box, which should be not more than 18 inches, and how it should be carried? It should be at your feet, in the thing. I had a box here, and an hour before we started, I put Mitch into the box so that he would become accustomed to it. Accustomed means used to it, and left for a hurried meal. So 1 hour would be enough for him to get accustomed. In the meantime, he went for a meal and he left the box over there as well. Which image. When I returned, there was an appalling spectacle. Appalling is shocking. There was complete silence from the box. But from its air holes and chinks around the lid, blood had trickled and dried. Okay, so what? From its air holes means the small gaps that were there, and from the part near the lid, the metal and all, there was blood that could be seen that has flowed, and the drops had dried. I whipped off the lock and tore open the lid. And Mitch, exhausted and blood spattered. Blood spattered means around him there was all blood. Whimpered and caught at my leg. Whimpering is the crying sound that animals make. He had torn the lining of the box to shreds. When I removed the last of it so that there were no cutting edges left, it was just 10 minutes until the time of the flight, and the airport was 5 miles distant. I put the miserable Mitch back into the box, putting down the lid with my hands. What did we do? We tore open the lid, and then whatever cutting edges, means sharp edges that were there because he had tried to escape from there, उसके वजह से blood निकला था. So then he repaired all those edges, he made it smooth, and again put him back into the lid, into the box. अब कितना टाइम बचा था उसकी फ्लाइट के लिए? 5 miles, and the time length was 10 minutes. I sat back in the back of the car with the box beside me as the driver tore through the streets. Tore through means he was now going at a fast pace because he was getting late. So he tore through the streets of Basra like a, how do you pronounce this word? Ricochet. Ricochet. It is pronounced as ricochet. Ricochet. Like a ricochet. Ricochet. C-U-H का pronunciation. Ricochet. The T will be silent. So, like a ricochet bullet. Ricochet, see, a bullet which changes direction after hitting a surface, because it was going at a very fast pace. So that's why they are comparing it to a ricochet, like a spin ball. जो बोलते हैं, like that. The aircraft was waiting to take off. I was rushed through to it by infuriated officials. Infuriated means they were angry. Why were the officials angry? Because he was breathing. So उसमें सबको ही inconvenience होता है, so they were angry.
तो का मेरी second flight है.
हाँ. नहीं, आपको पहला वाला ही दे रहा है. He's going on his way to London. First flight at least. Luckily, the seat booked for me was at the extreme front, the first row. I covered the floor around my feet with newspapers. Why did he cover? नहीं, उसके box पर अपना था ना नीचे, so that's why he covered it with newspapers. Ran for the air hostess and gave her a parcel of fish for Mitch to keep in a cool place, because raw fish रहेगा, so it needs to be stored in a freezer or a refrigerator. So he gave it to the air hostess. I took her into my confidence. Took her into my confidence means shared all my secrets. So what did he share? He gave problem kya hua tha with regards to Mitch, so that she knows what he has gone through. So I took her into my confidence about the events of the last half hour. What had happened in the last half hour? Which kind of problem was?
कोई बात को तो कुछ करते हैं।
हाँ, उसने escape करने की कोशिश की थी, तो that's why that happens. I have retained the most profound admiration. Profound admiration means the deepest admiration for that air hostess. She was the very queen of her kind. He's saying because she treated him very well and in a very understanding manner. She suggested that I might prefer to have my pet on my knee. And I could have kissed her hand in the depth of my gratitude. Why? Because that was actually against the rules. Where was he supposed to keep it? At the bottom. But then she understood that the animal also might be uncomfortable in that, or even he himself might be more protective about the animal. Or you might want to check if he's okay inside. So she allowed to keep the box on his feet. Okay, on my knees, so on his lap, basically. But not knowing Otters, I was quite unprepared for what followed. What happened now? Mitch was out of the box in a flash. He disappeared at high speed down the aircraft. There were squawks and shrieks, and a woman stood up on her seat, screaming out, "Arrant, Arrant!" You can see that lady on the seat, standing on the seat. It looks also like a small grand woman. I caught the sight of Mitch's tail, right? Since it has a long tail. So I caught the sight of Mitch's tail disappearing beneath the legs of a portly white turbaned Indian. Portly is stout. You can see that man over there. Huh? So he's saying that I saw his tail, right? Because it has a long tail, he came to know that it is there. Diving for it, I missed, but found my face covered in curry. Perhaps, said the air hostess with a most charming smile, it would be better if you resumed your seat. Resume means went back to your seat. And I will find the animal for you, animal and bring it to you. So what happened now? He escaped. Then what happened? One lady, she got scared. She stood up on a seat and she started screaming, rat, rat. And the other man, he saw the tail disappearing beneath the seat of that portly turbaned man. Okay? He tried to get hold of it, but then what happened? He realized that his face had got covered with curry. There was disturbance. He was causing disturbance eventually. So then what did the air hostess do?
She told him to sit at his place.
Yes. And she will find it. She will find it for him. Then I returned to my seat. I was craning my neck. Craning means streaming. Like if you want to see through this, what would you do? See like this? If you're searching for something, strain your neck a little. That's craning. Yeah?
When
Word can straining. I was craning my neck, trying to follow the hunt, when suddenly I heard from my feet a distressed chitter of recognition. इसका आवाज था वो Mijbil. वो उसके because now I had started identifying its owner. तो वो आया and he heard that sound. Chitter of recognition means कोई जाना पहचाना sound of Mitch. And welcome. And Mitch bounded onto my knee and began to nuzzle my face and my neck. Nuzzle, see, to rub gently with the nose. So when you meet your pet, you come from out how the animal treats you, know. So yes. So that is what he noticed. Achha, any has. Question. One word. Next week continue.
Next week.
Next week continue. तो ना समझेगा कितना ध्यान दे। वो क्या ध्यान से कुछ Close it. Write down. Next question is don't write the question directly the answer. One space just that one. 10, 10, 10. Start with 10. Start with 10 now because here the numbers are 10. So I will take 10 here. So next question is how did the airline want to carry Mijbil? What is the next? Wait. Here. Wait, man. Wait. Can you please? Wait here. What is the meaning of an appalling spectacle? Appalling spectacle. What is the meaning of an appalling spectacle? Next. Well, why did the driver drive through the streets of Basra like a ricocheting bullet? Why did the driver drive through the streets of Basra like a ricocheting bullet? 13th. No, basically. 12th, no? This was 12th. I started with 10, which is how did the airline want it to carry? Next is 13. What did Mitch do in the box? What did Mitch do in the box? Not when he escaped. That is, he escaped. What he did before?
1 hour. 1 hour.
वही होगा ना? He didn't do anything else after that. After that, he escaped in the flight. So it's obviously about that. What did Mitch do in the box? Eh? रिस्पॉन्ड मत करना उसको देखो क्या है मैंने पूछा तेरे को क्या आया आंसर तो उसको क्यों पूछा तू अपना देख तेरा हैंडराइटिंग सही क्या पूछा है तेरे फोटोज वेरी बेस्ट वो भी मेरे 14 Maxwell called whom did Maxwell call the very queen of her kind? Did Maxwell call the very queen of her 20 questions? No, but it's made. This was last. Now answers begin. Inside. First was how did the airline want to carry inside? It should not be more than 18 inches. So box and उसमें से एक भी लिखा है तो ये सबसे लंबा है. What is the meaning of an appalling? Shocking scene or a shocking sight? तो अपनी लिख रहे हैं. Correct मत दे 5 पे बोलेगा correct था उसमें भी कट कर रहा है. Why did the driver drive like Maxwell's flight was about 10 1 mile at a time? Maxwell's flight was about 10 minutes and 5 miles apart. Rest of you say
Because he was delayed and it was
yes. What did Mitch do? He tried to
He tried to escape.
escape before the
मैंने तो बस यही try to escape.
ठीक है and that also required correct देते हैं he tried to escape but actually he tried to escape though he tried to escape even in the flight but he has specifying what he did in So I tried to escape from it. No. What did he do? What question clearly was, what did he do to the box? Right? So then you have to write that only. He tore the lining. Queen of a kind? Second answer for the
5 क्वेश्चन थे ना
13, what did he do to the box? He tore the lining. Out of how many were there? 4.
Number 2
How much?
5
You don't lie. You wrote the answer in front of me.
अब तो एक ही तो नहीं लिखा ना शॉपिंग
Out of 4, 4.
5
अभी तो कर रहा हूँ
अभी जो वो ट्राई टू एस्केप वाला
वो राइट है वो ऐसे
वो गलत. He tried to escape me. What did he do to the box?
भाई तोड़ के बाहर ही जाना था
What did he do to the box? That's the question. Listen carefully.
13
हाँ. Means yours is क्या? 3.
मैम नंबर को तो 2 मिले ए तेरे से नहीं मिले
वो ध्यान दे रहा है तेरे से ज्यादा. टेस्ट पेपर
हां देखिए देखा तो इस कलर है
Which wrong?
देखो ना इसमें
What did
ये
you
जो
do?
ये देख वो जिसको भी कर
चल next. Fourth part of this. Fourth and last. After in
जब मैडम ने ऐसे बस कर क्या चुप रहे
fourth part, after an we ध्यान दे we want full marks. After an eventful journey, Maxwell and his Otter reached London, where he has a flat. So where are they back now? They're still his house in London. Mitch and I remained in London for nearly a month. He would play for hours with a selection of toys, ping pong balls, marbles, rubber fruit, and terrapin shells that I had brought back from his native marshes. Terrapin shell, the shell of one turtle found in North America. अगर सारे पूछिए तो सारे लिखने पड़ेंगे which includes toys, ping pong balls, marbles, rubber fruit, terrapin shells. 5. क्या है? Rubber toys, ping pong balls, marbles, rubber fruit and terrapin shells. 5. With the ping pong ball, he invented a game of his own, which would keep him engrossed for up to half an hour at a time. What invented he? He invented a game to play with a ping pong ball. What was the game? A suitcase that I had taken to Iraq had become damaged on the journey home, so that the lid, when closed, remained at a slope from one end to the other. Means हाँ वो पूरा फ्लैट नहीं होता था तो जब वो बैग को बंद करते थे तो वो ऐसे थोड़ा ऐसा इंक्लाइंड रहता था ऐसे बंद नहीं हो रहा था इस थोड़ा स्लांट था so so one end to the other. Mitch discovered that if he placed the ball on the high end, it would run down the length of the suitcase. He would dash around to the other end to ambush its arrival. Ambush means attack. Like army people do, hide karenge or suddenly shoot karenge. So he used to throw the ball. Like if this is its inclined like this, he used to come this side, throw the ball from here, and come this side and pick it up. Okay. Then again he used to go here, again throw it from here, again come here and ambush. Okay, that was the game. So he would dash around to the other end to ambush its arrival, hide from it, crouching crouching is bending down to spring up and take it by surprise. हाँ खुद ही वो छुपेगा, खुद ही पकड़ेगा, खुद ही उधर से जाके वापस डालेगा बस. Grab it and trot off with it to the high end once more. He was alone now, so he was playing by himself. Outside the house, I exercised him on a lead precisely as if he had been a dog. How we take our dogs for a walk on with their using their leash. Which quickly developed certain compulsive habits on these walks. Compulsive habits, see, habits is possible, but on these walks in the London streets, like the rituals of children. Now see what he is talking about here, the rituals of children. He is talking about some compulsive habits of children. Okay. Such compulsive habits Mitch developed. What was Mitch's compulsive habit? That when they used to go back home, there was a small fence. There was a school on the other side and there was a boundary, small fence. So Mitch used to climb on that and he used to go walking till the house. Okay. So that was his compulsive habit. Now about children, he has spoken about some compulsive habits. Like what? Like for example, sometimes, okay, my own example I'm giving you. Okay. Sometimes, kuch patthar rahega, you'll hit the pebble with your leg, then it will move in the same way, then when it goes again, you will hit it forward. Or there is one example here where, you know, you have those square blocks. You cannot keep your foot on the side, on the border of it, beach mein pair lagna chahiye, waisa. So, habits of children, like the rituals of children, who on their way and prompts must place their feet squarely in the center of each paving block. This is that every square you have to keep your foot on the square and not between the lines. Must touch every seventh upright of the iron railing. Means you have a railing as a bars रहेंगे and every seventh bar you touch. Or pass to the outside of every second lamppost. Means there will be these lampposts and one will go from your zigzags. Other one will go like this. So pass to the क्या था वो? No, what was the same? What has he said? Pass to the outside of every second lamppost. So means you alternate and go in a zigzag. Okay. So this is the compulsive habits of children that he's spoken about. Now he speaks about what about Mitch's compulsive habit. Outside my flat was a single-story primary school, along whose frontage, means in front of the school at the corner, was a ran a low wall some 2 feet high. Okay. On his way home, but never on his way out, Mitch would tug me to this wall. Tug me means he used to pull him and take him towards the wall, jump on it, and gather the full length of its 30 yards. 30 yards कितना होता है? Around 90 feet के आसपास. Okay, like around 27 meters. So it's 30 yards. The hopeless destruction of both peoples and staff. So what Mitch used to do? And when he used to do?
When he come home.
Yes.
On the way of.
Yes, not on the way out, but on the way back home. How tall was the wall? 2 feet. So what he used to do? Climb on it and go. Okay. Much to the destruction of the pupils and because they'll wonder what kind of, if you imagine seeing something like a rat going and passing by and walking through that entire thing. Okay. It's an unusual animal. So that's why they're saying hopeless destruction of both pupils and teachers. Next. It is not, I suppose, in any way strange that the average Londoner should not recognize an otter. Means what is he saying? People are not able to identify an otter from it. We also had to suddenly see a small otter, हम लोग भी wonder करेंगे ये कैसा type का है. And in London they must not be keeping otters as pets. हाँ उधर का वेदर भी वैसा नहीं, अभी ये उधर गया था तो देयर द फ्रेंड प्रोवाइडेड किया. So but a variety of guesses as to what kind of animal this might be came as a surprise to me. He's saying that people never recognize that it's an otter, and even his guesses were very weird. Otters belong to a comparatively small group of animals called mustelines. What are they called? Mustelines. So they are from the mustelines family. Like how you have the cat family, right? You are in the tiger and the lion from the cat family. I don't know which other animals might be there. Cheetah, yes, all those puma, all those must be the cat family. Okay, so this belongs to a group called mustelines, shared by the badger, mongoose, weasel, toad, mink, and others. They are all similar looking animals. I face a continuous barrage of conjectural questions. See, barrage of conjectural, stream of questions filled with guesses. That sprayed all the mustelines, but the otter means they tried to guess where they said it's a mongoose, it's a lizard and a badger, a weasel, other than otter, toad, mink. Other than that, other than otter, they said everything else but the otter. More random guesses hit on a baby seal, a squirrel. Looks also more like a squirrel only, you know, if you see. So people said is it a baby seal? Because it also looks like a seal. If you see that first picture where it's eating the fish, it's like a seal. Is that a walrus, Mr. Reduced me to eagles. Walrus is that type of animal which has those tongues like this. Similar to a seal, but वो दाल से हाँ. Reduced me to eagles means he used to find it funny and laugh. Outside the dog show, I heard a hippo, a beaver, a bear cub, a leopard, one that apparently had changed its spots. Right? Here he's being humorous. That जो भी बोलता है कि it's a leopard, leopards have spots. This one doesn't. So is it a leopard that has lost its spots? And a brontosaur. Brontosaur is a type of dinosaur. Of course, because even in the big movie we said medievally conceived dragon. So people used to think of it to be a brontosaur, which was anything but an otter. Why is he saying that? You सब गलत है. हाँ, सब गलत है. Why? It's all wild guess. But the question for which I awarded बहुत उसने ध्यान दिया आज तेरा एग्जॉस्ट हो गया last part. But the question for which I was awarded the highest score came from a laborer digging a hole in the street. I was still far from him when he laid down his tool, put his hands on his hips, and began to stare. So what was the laborer doing? Digging. Stare किया और हाथ ऐसे करके वो देखने लगा, as if he knows what it might. And as I drew nearer, I saw his expression of surprise and affront, as though he would have me know that he was not one upon whom to play jokes. Means the expression was such that, yes, I know what animal this is. I came abreast of him, means I came in front of him. He spat. Spat is past participle of spit. Glared and growled up. Yo, mister, what is that supposed to? So it ended like that. He felt that, he knows what it is, confidence is up, khada hoke nahi hai. And at the end, he said, what is it? Now number 15 is BFC. आगे बाकी थोड़े मिक्स वाले भी है, so I feel. So now 16, right? 15, yes. What do you mean by compulsive habits? Books close. ये boys नहीं रखा था, girls ने अच्छे से books पढ़ी. What do we mean by compulsive habits?
आया ना देख के बोलना है
16. What guesses? Question is, what guesses did the Londoners make about what Mitch was? All
एंड जो
like
मेरे
any three names.
दो बहुत है
Hmm? 17. What again? Any because he has said no, all other than water. क्यों बोला तुमने देखा
नहीं मेरे को पता था बस पूरे मैंने से दो ही लिखे थे
तीन से जाना चाहिए WARLRUS 17. What kept Mitch engaged when they shifted to London? First one. First. Huh? Why were otters known as Maxwell otters? इतना अपना बोलता क्यों है? देखो सही लगता है. Next 19, no? Where did the Arabs keep the otter? Means in what was the otter put when the Arabs got it? देखो मैं पूछ रही हूँ, याद कर क्या वर्ड था?
वो लिख देंगे चलेगा ना
वो वर्ड
सेम
वर्ड
उसका ये लिख दीजिएगा
नहीं सेम वर्ड
नहीं आता
वो लिखा है जब बातें याद आएगा तो लिखा है. Next 20. When the author saw the otter for the first time, it resembled a. What did it resemble? It looked like a. Now also I spoke about it when we did it. It looked like a.
हाँ
21st.
21st
Easy one. What was the name given to the otter? यहाँ पे तुम
हाँ साइंटिस्ट ही है
name of the otter. What did he name them? What did he name him? Pet का नाम क्या है? Now 22. Previous one.
सबसे बाहर
Shivam क्या नाम?
नहीं
22. What were Mijbil's favorite toys? Three, any three or more. He used to play with them.
मतलब सभी
5 were there, no? कौन है पूछ रहा ना मेरे को लास्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर 23
24 23
What did the woman in the aeroplane think that the otter was? The lady screamed something. What did she think it was? What did she think? What did she think it was? Screamed something. She thought it was that. Next 24. That in the Tigris marshes, otters were as common as. Write that. In the Tigris marshes, otters were as common as. What had trickled out of the box? What had trickled out of the box? Next. So now where did we start from?
Habits which cannot be.
Yes, habits which you cannot control. तो अभी लिख रहा है सही मत देना खुद को। Wrong answer. Next.
Mongoose make sure to be sweet.
Squirrels among us are values. Mongoose
Walrus. Okay.
If I'm on
You?
make sure.
दो लिखा. To have fun.
तेरे को चाहे तो मैंने ठीक इससे ज्यादा लिखना है
17.
Used to play with the damaged bag.
and other new toys.
First thing how you have to write. फिर extra जो चाहिए.
To have fun. Damaged bag.
Okay, we'll do. Next. Why were otters known as Maxwell otters? They are found at a place called Maxwell.
पहले तो लिख दिया उसका ओनर का नाम
Sack.
19 where is it? Sack. You know, sack. So
मैंने बैग लिख दिया
हाँ, bag है तो wrong. That was sack. Sack. पहले इसमें भी वो बोला गलती कर दी था, but I told
मैंने तो आपसे बोला था मैम मेरे को साथ में मैं पूरी को कहकर लिखना है वहाँ लिख
sack wrong. Let me try it. Don't try sack.
चाहता ही नहीं मिला
Vanilla, I told you when I had to explain it, but the word said is that. It resembles a
Small medieval guys.
yes, medieval dragon. So you have written the word dragon in the dragon. Squirrel was the
Yes.
Yes.
yes. Last at the end also I said no.
And that is mouse.
At the end I said no that it resembles a conceived dragon.
या दिल में राइट
But it. When we first made it, what were his favorite
Ping pong
toys?
ball, marbles, and spongy ball.
Sponge ball,
Sponge balls.
rubber ball है, rubber fruits है, or even rubber ball you used to play with that. That is also understood.
और fruit
अभी change करते.
नहीं हाथ
He also out of 3 he had written 2 properly. Half mark. He was also same. Right. What did she think it was? A rat. Must be good.
It's very standard.
Right. Any time it feels good.
पहले मैंने मिचबिल लिखा मैम
Why was it Mijbil? What printed out Mijbil? Then he changed it to Mijbil. He added over the mix. Count your marks. Now count your total. There was 25. 9 total. We don't know.
12 ही मिले होंगे 12 13
होंगे लेकिन देखते हैं.
21 out of
25 I think. 25 to what now? 22. 19. Yours? 22. 22 22. 1, 2, 3, 22. 19.
मैंने तो टिक भी
He doesn't want to count those.
मैंने टिक भी तो हमारा
Marks भी नहीं देता। वो इतना
अब 19
yours?
20 से होता है
22, 22, 22. 19 and a half. 18.
निकाल मैं देख
0.
तो नहीं था वो
गलत है ईरान
ईरान नहीं अरे मैम वो राइट है ईरान
नहीं
ईरान तो है ना उसको ईरान था
ईरान है पर ईरान इराक भी लिखा ऊपर लोग भी
वो सेकंड वन थोड़ी देता है
डन सही है टू बाय
But इसमें तू ये चेक कर रहा है इसमें आंसर जब मैंने बोला है वो भी तो लिखा है तो you will put that as correct.
अच्छा ये हाउस लिखा होता भी गलत लिखा
नहीं नहीं हाँ हाँ
इसका उसको
हाँ सीधा वाली है उसका
नहीं नहीं ये मेरा राइट है ये पास से मैंने भी लिखा
ये और दूसरा ये गलत
he said all correct what was wrong was his cancel
बाद में लिखा है ठीक है ये पता है ये गलत है
ये मैं लिखो
इधर इधर लिखो हम दो बार इधर की स्पेलिंग गलत लिखी है
राइट है ना चुके
एक आठ का बोलना मेरा है सॉरी साइड बॉक्स में छोड़ दो
ये मैंने
इधर फीट क्या होता है
राइट आपसे
because he was delayed कितना दूर तक कितना मिनट
you know see अभी क्या बोला ठीक है जो उसने कट करके लिखा है तो see what he has cut but he has left many blank also
नहीं नहीं मैम ज्यादा नहीं
उसमें मैंने देखा है आधे तो blank देखा है तो उसमें लॉट
शॉकिंग से सीने वो भी सीन की स्पेलिंग गलत लिखी है एस की
गलत है आपको राइट गलत है
yes
अच्छा वो स्पेलिंग उसकी स्पेलिंग में
फ्लैट में भी कुछ ढंग से लिखना नहीं आता है क्या क्या बोलना डर क्या
क्या
अरे बाकी he tried to escape I mean tried to escape लिखा है
अब इसके बिना कैसे लिखा हुआ है
राइट की स्पेलिंग क्या लिखा है टी आर
ए वाई तो नहीं है
वाई डी है मैम टी आर वाई डी लिखा है जैसे
जो ये वाले है ना और दिस मस्टर्ड
हाँ
अच्छी वॉल्गर्स
बोलकर वो भी गलत लिखे आप लोग के लिए अरे पीछे
जितना है मतलब वो भी चाहता है because once you are left blank then also getting covered
ये होगा इससे पर पड़ेगा ये और
हमें पर क्या करोगे
अभी लेमन क्यों मेरा देख रहा है लेमन से
तूने इसका बाद में लिखा सच में
नहीं 10 वर्षों पहले ही लिखा मैम
हैबिट के तूने बाद में लिखा नहीं ये तो बाद
हाँ
में
हाँ
इसका तो आप ही स्प्रिंग फॉल ये भी तो बाद में लिखे
नहीं नहीं ये मैंने
राइटिंग दिख रही है भाई
अरे वो मैंने लिखा बोल रहा था
also order लिखा है
और लिखा तो बढ़ गया बड़ा हुआ
in a sack in a bag लिखा था ये मेडिकल ट्रैक बुक बाद में लिखा 21 तो लिखा ही नहीं है 21 लिखा है ये बाद में लिखा हाँ राइट सही है इसकी लोग की स्पेलिंग भी गलत
अच्छा
भाई मिचबिल का ठीक है मतलब कितना है
विजुअल घर आते हैं आप
एक दो चार
so it's okay Mijbil's blood is also fine
3.5 1.5
आप बात
आप मतलब 6 अच्छा
आप बात
4.5 तो आप 5 6.5 8.5 9.5 10 out of 20
out of 21
भाई वो
spelling कुछ रहने होंगे which he has written later जो हम लोग हैं
नाइन आना हमें पड़ेगा नाइन आप अबे देश वाला है हम उसका
it shows your attention span अभी का आपने किया है वो भी मान में तभी बैग I do like this for every class.
सीन की
Every
भी स्पेलिंग का SE है ना
अरे वैसे कैसे
SE
ऐसे कैसे
he tried to
अरे तो मैं
SE
कौन से चल अच्छे से
हाँ तो पर थोड़ा देखते तो
चलेगा।
ये अभी तो एक बोल
chat में तो सही लिखना हो नहीं अरे फोन में ना ऑटो
मैंने 10 बार बोला है ढंग से लिखना सीख ले वो भी नहीं आ रहा है
How he writes.
वो तू बोला था
अरे मैं तो ऑटो करेक्शन से हो जाता है मैं बार-बार गेम क्या रहा था पास
अरे कुछ तो मेरे को चैट करके भेज रहा था पता नहीं याद नहीं मेरे को गेम के बारे में कुछ तो लिख रहा था वो भी नहीं आता
मैंने बोला ये कुछ भी नहीं ना वो लिखता नहीं है ऐसे ही बोल के सीधा फिर देगा वो मतलब ऐसे उसके
Audio.
हमें पर
Typing.
हाँ भाई वो लिखना है नहीं
नहीं सच में सारे गड़बड़ नहीं करता है
सस्पेंस है और तो मैसेज नहीं करते हैं ऑडियो
अरे मेरा कभी ज्यादा गलत नहीं होता है